and welcome back. Today is Snapshot Day. Hooray, hooray. Holy moly, we have another snapshot. Super duper excited because anytime that we get a new block, that is a good day. This is Grimstone. Oh, I just got Stone Age for getting it. Okay, and you can also kind of see up in the corner all the different things Grimstone can be used for. And then on top of this new block, which has a whole bunch of different varieties of it, we're going to be talking about that. We also have new textures on ores. So the same ore you know and love, but just a different look. We're going to talk about all that in today's Snapshot 21w07a. So we're going to start off by talking about Grimstone, which is that crazy stone that you saw at the beginning of the video. As if I go down in here to spectator mode, you can see it all over the place. Here's the deal with it. This Grimstone spawns directly at that moment when you go below 0. So I mentioned in last week's video that the world dimension, the world border, I guess, is now in the negative. So we've always had up to 0, which is where I'm at right now. You're looking at this number right here. And the moment you go into negative, you start getting Grimstone spawning. So people have been very curious when the warden's going to come. Where is that biome going to be? What is this like underneath area? Well, it seems like anything that is below 0 is going to be almost like a new dimension, but still in the overworld. So Grimstone is kind of the defining moment of when you go from normal overworld into, this is all just speculation, by the way, but this is my speculation, is that it's the defining moment between when you go into the normal overworld and sort of this underneath overworld. And it is everywhere, and there is a ton of it. Now, as you saw, right as I started this sort of scene, and I hope that I didn't lose it. There we go. Grimstone can be used in a ton of different ways. I'm super excited about this because it has the normal block, it has the slab, it has the wall, it has the stair. It can be polished. So this is normal Grimstone. You got your polished Grimstone. That's the difference there. It has that border and a little bit less harsh of a texture. Then you have the brick version of that. So very similar. I want to find my stone bricks. Where am I? Here, let me just type out bricks here. And here is the stone bricks. And this is going to be, it's different. Like, it's funny because on the top, it actually looks very similar. That top texture, but the side texture is a really offset brick. It's not the same. The top, same. The sides, though, wait a second. I'm in the wrong area. What is this? Brick? This is bricks? Tiles? Oh my gosh. Wait a second. I'm confused. What? How did I get tiles? I don't know how that happened, but here are the tiles. They're very offset. Bricks, they look the same. There we go. So it's just a darker version. I don't know how I got tiles up in my inventory. So there you go. These tiles is what I was talking about. Very offset, very different. Completely it'd be a really perfect accent. I could really see a lot of people who have lots of stone brick walls. You could take some tiles and then like throw them in there as a perfect accent. It's really nice. I really, really, really like how the tiles are offset. They're like not perfectly symmetrical. Love it. And then finally, you also have this chiseled Grimstone. It looks like it kind of has a face in it, and I think a lot of people are going to compare it to an observer just off of the face alone, but totally different location. You got your eyes and your mouth is kind of what it looks like. But anyway, so that is the chiseled Grimstone. So once again, you got normal Grimstone, you got your polished Grimstone, you got your bricks, you got tile, and now you have chiseled Brimstone. So inside the stone cutter, you take Grimstone, you throw it in there, and you can get chiseled Grimstone, and you get these slabs and stairs and wall varieties. But you don't get the tiles or the bricks or anything like that. Grimstone has a awesome capability, just like Blackstone did, and that is that you can use it to make tools. So I can make a stone pickaxe here. I can also make a furnace out of Grimstone instead of just using the normal cobblestone that we've always used. We're gonna see what happens here when we take some Grimstone, throw it into a furnace. Does nothing. Not a single thing. Okay. I'm just gonna assume you got your slabs. Aha, that's how you get chiseled. Okay, that's good to know. What if I take this? There we go. Okay, now that's polished. Why couldn't I polish it in the... stone cutter? I feel like the stone cutter isn't quite updated for the Grimstone yet. So anyway, that's how we get polished, apparently. Let's grab that out of there. Then if I do maybe this, there we go. We got the slabs and stairs, and that's how we make all those things. But if I take these slabs out and I put them on top of each other, no, nothing. I'm trying to find how to make these blocks. I want to make the tiles, and I want to make the bricks. And even in this crafting recipe, unless there's something I am missing, you can't take your polished and throw it into the stone cutter, get the stuff. So I'm not exactly sure how you're going to get the bricks and the tiles yet. I would imagine, also you can't furnace up any of these stuff. So I would imagine that eventually it's going to be developed in that you can use the stone cutter to get a lot of these varieties, or you have to smelt them in order to get them, or possibly there's something I haven't tried yet, so there's a good chance. Last thing on textures is that it really does have a great gradient. You got your normal bricks, your new Grimstone bricks, and now your Blackstone bricks. Very, very different in texture, obviously. Like, I mean, just look at the differences. They're definitely not just reshading bricks. They're different bricks, which is really cool, but I love that the pattern is the same, and so they're just going to go really, really well in builds together. Now, let's talk about ore changes. The ore itself is, it's same ore, but the texture has changed quite a lot. So anything that had a matching texture, and let me show you what I mean. Here we are back on the old textures. You can see that Redstone and Diamond have the exact same hole cutouts. So you got, see, that little pixel right there, it happens to be blue there, it's red here. That's true for 4 different textures. So you got your ores that all have the same pattern, but just a different color. So those have all been updated. Oh, and I guess coal is in this as well. So coal, get over here. Lapis, weirdly, doesn't have that, and obviously neither does your emerald over there. But each of these have the same silhouette, basically, when it comes to the ore themselves. So in the new resource, or in the new texture, I guess I should say, all of these have been changed. Only Diamond has stayed the same, and I think that that's just because Diamond is so, like, I mean, that diamond texture is like everywhere, especially with Minecraft stuff. So Diamond is the same, but gold has changed, iron has changed, redstone has changed, and so has coal. Coal has all changed. So Diamond is the only one to keep that original outline of Diamond. Everything else has changed, and that's for accessibility reasons they mention on the blog, but also I think it's just going to help you to determine, like, what am I looking at in dark situations and all sorts of other situations. You're going to be able to tell much easier what type of ore you are looking for, and I feel like it looks a lot more polished. I feel like almost like with how they haven't just changed the tint of this texture. They have actually remade the texture from stone to Grimstone to Blackstone. I feel like it makes it seem so much more professional in a way that you have a different texture for each ore instead of just a recolored texture for each ore. So in general, at the moment, I'm all for it. I'm a big fan. Okay, so we're down here in the deep dark again. I want to show off a few more things. I'm still in creative mode, but I want to get rid of this spider before I switch into survival mode. Here we are in survival. So one thing that I wanted to point out is that this Grimstone actually has it's actually slower to mine. So here we are mining up some normal stone that I put down. Here is Grimstone. So it is a bit slower. Unlike normal stone, it doesn't break into like grim cobblestone. It's just normal old Grimstone. So you don't have to worry about that. Also, down here, you can see that the ores kind of, stick out because their texture is all stone, and of course it's around Grimstone. And developer tweeted that this will soon change. So here's the tweet. Now, soon. So this is very exciting that we will have ores that match the Grimstone that it is in. So can't wait to see that implemented. That will look super duper cool. This is another thing that was in the blog post that I really want to point out, and this is all about world generation. So it's a little bit difficult to see this legend over here isn't perfect, but anyway, so we have redstone, diamond, and lapis. So red, the light blue is diamond, blue is lapis, copper is this gold color, but then gold is this gold color. And you got iron is more of the white color, and emerald, and then it doesn't mention it, but I'm assuming that the black is the coal. So this is a good distribution of, and it says not final, folks, not final, but a good distribution of ores, which really helps us understand kind of what we were seeing before, which was that we were seeing a lot more diamond than we were anywhere else. Like I remember when one of the first things I pointed out was like, holy moly, there's a ton of diamond in the deep dark area. And so as we can see in 1.16, this was the whole area that we had. And now we have a ton more space for the ores. And so diamond is going to become a lot more relevant down there in the deep dark. Same thing with redstone, it looks like. And if you have buried lapis, looks like that whole area. That's kind of interesting. Apparently, the higher the mountain, the more emerald you're going to get, which I think is super cool. So if you find a really, really tall mountain that is, you know, the mountain biome or whatever, the hill biome, then you'll be able to get even more emerald from it. And also it looks like, I guess, iron there too, which is pretty cool. So I'm really loving these world generation changes, and I love that the developers gave us this graph to kind of give us a good idea of where to search for things. It's always so difficult to explain. You gotta go below level, 16 shows here, to go get some diamond. This is so nice that they put this together. Really appreciate that. So this is kind of cool. I don't remember seeing this in the last snapshot. I remember seeing these pillars, the log pillars kind of holding up any abandoned mine shaft. I don't remember seeing these chains. So you got these chains coming from the ceiling now that kind of also hold up a abandoned mine shaft. That is really, really cool looking. I really, really like that. So they're still going to kind of continue to integrate these massive cave structures in with sort of the old relics of Minecraft past. I really hope that they also put in more type of like abandoned mineshaft type of things in the caves. Come on, cave update. That's what we want. Okay, so that's mostly it. We've covered the Grimstone. We've covered the ores. Covered a little bit more about world generation and how that is changing. And the only other thing is that there's some menu changes. So most notably is Redstone has been rearranged. Before, this was totally different. I remember you'd have to scroll down to get redstone dust. Sometimes I'd like miss redstone dust because it was like below the fold. Now I love this because the most used redstone items seem to be at the top. Then you kind of go to least used and you get some activators, and then you end up with doors and gates and whatnot at the very, very bottom. So I really appreciate this change because as someone who uses redstone in creative mode a lot, this is going to make finding that redstone that I need much, much faster. And that wraps it up for Minecraft 21w07a. I'm really impressed. I am always impressed with a new texture, a new block. That is super awesome. Some of the additions, like making that block integrate in with the ones around it, I feel like that could have been used for some diorite and andesite. Every once in a while you come around and you find some polished diorite, or not polished, but diorite or granite or something, and you're like, why is this ore chilling out like this? Like, that doesn't look right. You kind of wish that it was all together. By the way, that is another change, is that this stuff generates a little bit differently, and I feel like I'm seeing it right here, but maybe not, maybe not. But it is supposed to be generating a little differently. I am super excited about the cave update. We are getting some really, really, really cool stuff. Another thing that I quickly mentioned, but I don't feel like I need to show off, is that strongholds are now going to be more encased in stone than before. That about wraps it up, and we'll see you on another episode here on OMGcraft. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a like. Also, make sure you subscribe for future videos, tips, tricks, tutorials, spotlights, and of course I do my Let's Play How to Minecraft here on OMGcraft. And if you want to directly support me, you can get some merchandise at Hello OMG, or you can become a member of the channel. Either way, I really, really appreciate y'all's direct support. Until the next video, bye!